So Lonnie Walker has been an absolute steal and has greatly outplayed his contract this year for the Lakers. When the Lakers signed him with the mid-level exception, taxpayer mid-level, many people questioned the signing and were like, why Lonnie Walker? Why not somebody else, right? He didn't have this display in the Spurs. The Spurs were willing to just let him walk. Why go get Lonnie Walker? And he has shown why. Right, he's averaging 15 points a game. He's been one of our most consistent and best players this season for the Lakers, and he's shooting 38.4% from three-point range on the season, and it's just been a real bright spot for the Lakers. He's still very young at only 24 years old, 6'4", with a good wingspan, and he's a guy that could be a piece for the Lakers for the long haul or any team in general. But Lonnie Walker did what Malik Monk essentially did, and which could be a good thing for the Lakers going forward, especially with Lonnie Walker. The Lakers would be 2 for 2, and that is in regards of like, I believe I am better than what people perceive me to be, right? Lonnie Walker had some really good moments with the San Antonio Spurs. He had moments of similar to this entirety of a season. It's just with the Lakers, he's had the opportunity to put it together for the whole season. But he did what Malik Monk did, which is, I believe I'm better. Let me go to the Lakers with the big bright lights and the spotlight and the media and just all the attention that comes with going to the Lakers. And if I'm on that team and I play well, then that's going to open the door so much more for me. And we saw that happen with Malik Monk, and he got a really good contract with the Sacramento Kings. Lonnie Walker is very likely going to get a real contract. And my guess is elsewhere. Now, Lonnie Walker, I don't really see the Lakers being able to retain beyond this season. I just don't. I think he is playing far too well. I think for a 24-year-old, there's going to be some team, specifically probably a young team, that looks at him and goes, man, he could be a real piece for now in the future, and offer him somewhere in like the 15 to 18, maybe even a little more range, especially with the way that contracts are given out in this day and age. I really could see a team going and trying to give Lonnie Walker, say, 15 plus million. And if you're the Lakers, your cap space is very limited. You have roughly $30 to $32 million this upcoming season. You're not using half of your cap to sign Lonnie Walker and retain Lonnie Walker. You're just not. They're not going to do that, right? The Lakers want to try to compete and try to win championships. They're going to go after some of the more bigger marquee names, try to get some guys that are more win now rather than the future. And you still have LeBron James for 2 more seasons, which makes sense. And then you kind of deal with it after that. Now, maybe Lonnie Walker will do what Bobby Portis did for the Milwaukee Bucks, which is, hey, I want to be here. You guys want me here. I will take the non-bird rights, which is $7.7 million, and maybe Lonnie Walker would accept that, sign that type of deal, so that way he could then go get his bird rights, and then the Lakers could give him a loaded contract on the back end, right? So say the Lakers were going to give him 15 or 12 million a year or something like that. Okay, well now we'll give you 17 million a year, so that way you actually make more in the long run, right? They give them something along those lines, but with Lonnie Walker being the way that he's playing and 24 years old and nothing guaranteed, get your money while you can, right? If he has an opportunity to get double, maybe even triple or close to triple what the Lakers could offer, why would Lonnie Walker not want to do that? So it makes a lot of sense that the Lakers are very likely to lose Lonnie Walker this season, which sucks, right? He's turned into a real fan favorite. We all love him. Skywalker, right? He's been fantastic. Just some of the highlight plays this season. And he's a real piece that the Lakers could really use going forward this season. But he's also a valuable trade chip that they could use in a multitude of deals, right? Just for example, say Bojan Bogdanovic. Now, Bojan Bogdanovic, he's Detroit. He's a better fit than Lonnie Walker, and he's more win now. He doesn't need the ball as much as, like, Lonnie Walker needs the ball, right? Like, he's kind of developed into a bit of a spot-up shooter. He's shooting the ball well, but he's best with the ball in his hands getting to the hoop, right? Or running on the fast break with the ball and making a play, right? That's what's best for him. Where Bojan, he's fine just being a spot-up shooter, being a catch-shoot guy. He's a guy that has experience, that is a veteran, that could be very valuable come the playoff time. Somebody like this could be, you could use Lonnie Walker as a way to convince the other team to give that trade, right? Like, so for example, Detroit is looking for a first-round pick and a young player with upside or other draft compensation. Well, you want to save as many of your picks as possible. So maybe if you could work something out to where you could give Lonnie Walker and a first with, like, say, Patrick Beverley and get Bojan, that's a better help win now move. Not just that, but Bojan Bogdanovic, he signed to 2 more years beyond this year. So you're guaranteed to keep him beyond this year, and you'd still have some cap space next season to go and make a move, or maybe 2. That could really help bolster the Lakers roster, where Lonnie, you very likely only have him this season. And if you could get a piece that makes more sense, even if it's not Bojan, but if you could get a piece that makes more sense, why wouldn't you do that? Right? You got to look at the long term. And as much as Lonnie Walker would be great for the long term, you have a guy like Max Christie, who very likely is going to be your starting shooting guard for the foreseeable future. I actually think Max Christie is going to get more minutes. I think he's going to get a bigger bump next season as far as production and play. They probably want to keep Austin Reeves because the Lakers are like a +7.5 when Reeves plays shooting guard next to LeBron James. So that's something else too, or just when LeBron and Reeves is on the court in general. So they're probably going to want to keep Reeves more than they'd want to keep Lonnie Walker, which Reeves, they might not even be able to keep this season. But I imagine that they'd want to keep at least one of them. So if you're in the mindset of we're going to lose Lonnie Walker, you might as well go try to get a piece. Now, some people may look at it and go, well, if we're going to lose Lonnie, wouldn't you want a younger piece? And maybe, but what is that young piece, right? If a team wants Lonnie Walker, they probably want him because they are a young rebuilding team that wants young talent for the future. They're not looking to give up young talent. They're looking to obtain young talent. So it's a different scenario. So a team like Detroit, like, they're not, why would they give Saddiq Bey to get Lonnie Walker when they could just keep Saddiq Bey? You know, their idea is like, oh, well, let's unload the vet guy we have and try to get some assets. Or another team that maybe has some vet guy. Like, yeah, maybe you could go get Cam Reddish and that part, but again, he's not a help now, right? If the Lakers are making moves and the Lakers are making trades, they're likely trying to make moves and trades to win in the next, like, year or 2. Right? If not this season, hopefully next season. And going and getting another young guy in exchange for Lonnie Walker, I think it would be a lot harder to do. And it doesn't really help the Lakers now, right? That would be a move for post-LeBron. And yes, maybe he turns into some bright spot. Maybe he turns into an Austin Reeves that can come in and immediately make an impact. But in reality, the Lakers are going to want more proven commodities if they're going to trade a Lonnie Walker. They're going to want a guy like a Bojan Bogdanovic that can come in and provide 20-plus points a game and doesn't need to take 30 shots to do so. You know, he could do it on 10 shots, shooting 43% from 3. He's part of the 50-40-90 club. Like, that's a guy that makes sense. And the reason I'm bringing and keep mentioning Bojan is because, again, it's a guy that makes sense, that's a fit, that also the Lakers are linked to and connected to, and we know what the asking price is for him, and the Lakers could meet that asking price. And so if you're like a team like Detroit, you're looking at Lonnie Walker and going, like, yeah, he's somebody we're looking for. Young, 24 years old, has had a great stellar season, providing 15 points a game as like a third, fourth option. Like, imagine if he was on our team and we gave him a bigger role. Could he do more? Bojan, if we could also get a couple picks or something, cool, that makes sense. Bojan, he gets to go there. It's a win-win, mutually beneficial type of trade, right? Lakers get their guy that's more win now, that's more veteran, that's more, experience, especially come playoff time. Because that's the thing you got to keep in mind about all the young guys. Can they handle the pressure come playoff time? There's a reason that young teams usually don't have major success in the playoffs, right? It's usually the veteran-led teams that win the championship, make the deep playoff runs, or it's young teams that have a good mix of vet and youth. And yes, you have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, but you still want that guy that if, game's on the line, LeBron's driving and he can kick out, who would you rather have taking that last shot? Would you rather have Lonnie Walker or would you rather have Bojan Bogdanovic? Not only does Bojan Bogdanovic more veteran, more proven, a guy that's been in those moments, but he also shoots a better percentage. So I would personally want Bojan Bogdanovic. So I just think if you're the Lakers, even if it's not Boyan, you're looking for moves like that for Lonnie Walker. And I do think it makes a lot of sense to now look to trade Lonnie Walker. And don't get me wrong, it would suck to have him go. It would suck to lose Lonnie. And, you know, I've mentioned this before, and people are like, man, you really want Lonnie traded. And it's not that. I just look at the picture. Like, what is the likelihood we're going to keep Lonnie Walker? It's very slim. If not existent at all. Because again, he would have to essentially take the 7.7 million, the non-bird rights. Why would he do that? Like, think about it. Put yourself in Lonnie Walker's shoes. You're a 24-year-old basketball player that just proved himself, and a team is willing to offer you, 15 to 18 million dollars. Why wouldn't you want to go to that team, especially if you're going to get the same type of role and you're going to get more money to stay on the Lakers, right? Like, it doesn't really make sense, especially like from the Lakers standpoint. Like, if he wants to take the 7.7 million, then yeah, you give it to him. But I don't think that he's going to take that. If he was 30, yeah, maybe he does, because he's like, hey, I probably got, 4 or 5 years left. Granted, you can make the argument for the other side, go get your bag because your career is almost over, where his is kind of more the long haul, but nothing lasts forever, you never know what tomorrow could bring, and can he continue to replicate this? Is this an anomaly? We've seen guys have incredible seasons, even much better than Lonnie Walker's season even, and that they were never able to replicate that. I mean, look at guys like Chandler Parsons. Chandler Parsons got a max, huge deal, multi-year deal, and he was never able to replicate what he did to get that deal. Granted, some of that was injuries and stuff, but still, it goes to show you never know. Take the bag while you can. And Lonnie's agent, Lonnie's family, everybody around him is going to say, go get, what are you doing? Take the bag, man. Take the bag. It was the same thing with Malik Monk. Malik Monk came to the Lakers specifically to go get a bag, and he was able to. He got probably 2 times more than he would have otherwise. And it's the same thing with Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker's playing so well right now, he's probably going to get at least 2 times more than he would have if he didn't go to the Lakers, if he went to another team and signed a long-term deal. He bet on himself, and he's winning the bet. And so why wouldn't you, cash out and go home? And so this also is a good sign, though, for the Lakers in general, right? Because you saw Malik Monk do it. You saw Lonnie Walker do it. And if Lonnie Walker gets a good deal, which if you're the Lakers, you almost want that to happen, right? You almost want Lonnie Walker to go get a more lucrative deal, because then you're going to get a lot of young talent that's going to want to come to the Lakers, which could kind of suck, because at times you're probably going to have this cycle of young players, but it doesn't hurt. And if you find that one that really is oh man, this guy's good, right? This guy's really good. Well, then now you have a guy that you could go and then pay that guy, right? So it could work in the Lakers' benefit in the long run. But regardless, it's going to be interesting to see Lonnie Walker. It's just, I think it makes sense to trade him. You don't just give him away. I'm not saying oh, well, we're going to lose him, so just, first offer, just take it. No, it's got to be a deal that makes sense. Otherwise, you might as well, if it makes more sense to just let him go, then you do that. But if you can get something of value, if you can get a piece that could help you now and the next few seasons, like a Bojan Bogdanovic, you'd have him this season and the next 2 seasons, then I think you do that. I think that's a move that you make. That's me personally, and as always, I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think yes, you trade Lonnie Walker if you can find the right deal? Again, I'm not even saying it has to be Bojan Bogdanovic. I'm just saying in general, just a trade. I'm just using that as an example because we know the asking price. We know the Lakers are targeting Bojan, and we know that he's actually a piece that the Lakers could potentially get. That makes sense. But, insert your favorite trade or player. Would you do it? Would you not? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear them. Let me know down in the comment section below.